Now it's time to take a stand, yeah.
Come on! Cause this is the revolution, the people's revolution. This is the revolution. I wanna hear everybody say.
Good evening, my UNC family. Let us first of all start with a 10 seconds meditation, prayer, whatever religious faith you belong to. Let us pray for our citizens out there who are suffering under heavy rainfall, people who have lost everything, those whose houses are flooded out, to all of those who worked hard, who worked tirelessly, not effortlessly, as Stuart Smallpin Young said, to all of those who helped people come out across the east-west corridor down in south, to those who went in boats and saved children. Let us stop for a moment to say thank you, to say a prayer for them, because leadership begins with love. Leadership begins with concern. We cannot pray enough for our citizens who have been flooded out, who at this moment are crying after spending all of their savings to fix their houses, and now the government, the heartless government, is coming to give them property tax on that. So let us pause for a moment to pray for our citizens. Leadership begins with heart. Why is heart important? Heart is important because heart shows love and care. And once a leader has love, he or she will care about the citizens, and the policies will be implemented to improve the lives of the citizens. A mother shows love for a young baby like no one else can. I am a father, and quite a good one, but I could tell you, my first daughter, when she was born, Rebecca, who's 25 now, she was 6 months old, and her mother was holding her in her arms at 4 a.m. when I was going off to coach. And as she opened the door to let me out, she tripped and fell. She was holding the baby in her arms. And as she tripped and fell, her hands never flinched. Her muscles never moved. She fell straight on her knees, scraped both knees, and was bleeding from both knees. I screamed out, "Girl, what happened?" And she shouted back at me, "She's okay, she's okay," talking about the baby. I said, "Not the baby, you, girl, will you ever fall down?" And then I understood that a mother, the instinct of a mother changes from self-preservation to preservation of a child. Why do I tell you that? Because fathers, we could love, but it's conscious love. It's not instinctive like that. To preserve another's life without thought, without cognitive ability, is an amazing thing. That is why a mother is important. When we are talking about leadership in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a choice between a mother and a grandmother and a father who does not even care about his own outside children. A man who does not even care about his people. A man who is heartless. And when you start heartless, you finish terribly. And your country spirals down into failed status, failed nation status with nothing functioning. Kamla Prasad Bisesa starts with love. Rowley starts with greed. We are in the perfect storm of heartlessness, callousness, and greed. Legalized thieving without procurement. That's why heavy rainfall causes the devastation that we're having now. Keep in mind, we're not in a tropical storm, not in a hurricane, not in a cyclone, not in a category 5. We're just in rainy season. And everything is in a calamitous state because Rowley starts without love. He loves himself and his pockets. He loves Noel Garcia and whatever he have in the big bag that I saw him coming out Massey stores with one day. I thought I saw Rowley name on it, but I'm wearing glasses now, so I ain't sure. I thought I saw it. But when we talk about love, let me talk to you tonight. Because a lot of you over the years have believed the hype and the nonsense and the propaganda perpetrated by the PNM mass media and by Rowley and his miscreants, lie after lie after lie. Let me tell you 10 things tonight There are two leaders on offer to guide you and to guide this country forward. There is Kamla Prasad Bisesa and there is Keith Christopher Rowley. I'm just going to make 10 short points for each and every one of you to show you that whenever the time comes, whenever you get that opportunity, you must vote Kamla. You must fire Rowley and hire Kamla. Point number 1, Paria. 39 hours. 39 hours, 4 men in a pipe under 50 feet of pressured water, speaking, broken legs, alive, breathing oxygen, surviving. 39 hours underneath, waiting for someone to come and rescue them. Keith Christopher Rowley, Stuart Smallpin Young, Newman George, Colin Piper, and all the Paria people, including Mr. Way, who embarrassed himself in the Commission of Inquiry, taking decisions to ensure that they died. That's what the PNM did. As their parents were left outside under a galvanized shed in rain, hot sun, no water, no food, treated like dogs outside, no information. UNC members, councillors, David Lee, MP for the Point-a-Peak, going there to try to assist Victor Roberts and so on. But the PNM left the families outside. That's Rowley. Now, for a moment, picture if that accident happened while Kamla Prasad Bisesa was Prime Minister. First and foremost, her security detail would have been instructed to take her immediately to that site. She would have ensured that all family members and anybody would have been ushered into a conference room, fed, given coffee, pizza, whatever they want. She would have instructed and gotten a report from the Minister of Energy. She would have gotten a report from the MP of the area, MP Lee. She would have gotten all the intel and instructed and taken the lead there to be the decision maker. She would have gathered all the information, got the risk going, and within an hour or two, she would have also spoken to Christopher Boudram before he got in the ambulance to ensure and get information and instruct those to go down and save the men. And if you have to do whatever you have to do, get in there and save the men. She would have been down there leading the charge, not hiding away. She would have taken responsibility because of the love, because of the care. She would have had the chairman and the entire board right there, anyone and everyone. She would have had the first responders, everybody. She would have ensured that those men, if they had a chance to survive, they would be alive. And I guarantee you, in 39 hours, she would have gotten them out. So fire Rowley and hire Kamla. When you see our children lying down on the terrazzo floor as bullets ring out over their heads and a teacher is trying to keep them calm, and yet in the video it strikes you as weird that these children, these little babies are so disciplined. You get the sense that they've been through this before, and then you get information that it's a regular occurrence that was kept secret, that bullets ring out over their heads throughout the day as they're learning mathematics, geography, they're doing their social studies. Did Rowley go to that school to see those children, to talk to them, to make them feel confident that they are cared for and loved? As soon as that video would have been uploaded on social media, Kamla Prasad Bisesa would have called her Minister of National Security, her MPs. She would have called her security and she would have driven up to that school and given each and every child in that school a hug, talk to them and let them know, hear from the teachers what is the situation. She would have then installed army all around that school and that entire area. She would have blocked off there, put police posts and taken action to keep her children safe because she's a mother who loves children. She would not have had a Minister of National Security saying, no, those bullets were 200 meters away. Even though an AR-15 could kill you from 600 meters, the man cannot even stay awake in a press conference. He's so high on sativa, smoking and flowing all through his mind. He's such a useless human being. Fitzgerald at Talbot Hines, I agree with the Express. You are dense. Fire Rowley, hire Kamla. Flooding. if there was flooding in Trinidad and Tobago, and there was, and you know when Kamala swore in to be Prime Minister on the 26th of May 2010, on the 27th, there was the heaviest rainfall for decades, and the place flooded out. Kamala took off her shoes, spoiled all her makeup that the makeup artist took her time to do, and the hairdresser got out on the ground to go and see people, called all her ministers and MPs out there. After she saw and she comforted thousands of people, she got a cabinet meeting and instructed them that whatever existed was not good enough. She told Chandra Sharma, she told Sandy, she told all the ministers what needed to happen, and since then, after that, anytime there was rain or floods, service was given to the people immediately with immediate response. ODPM took charge. That is Kamala. That is love. That is heart. Fire Rowley. Hire Kamala. Farmers were getting 1.2 billion under Kamala. Under PNM previously it was 400 million. There were access roads, ponds, Pradia Larceny unit coming. There were markets being made, advancements and increase. There were subsidies going to be given on chemicals for farmers. Farmers were treated with respect. There was a localized program to encourage change of diet. School feeding and ministries were encouraged to utilize and purchase goods from the farmers, to increase the acreage, to feed ourselves, to lower the subsidy, to lower the food import bill of $5 billion. That is Kamala. Rowley came in and cut all the expenditure. Rowley does not care about farmers. Farmers are suffering from flooding. Flooding right now. Have you seen Rowley? Where is Rowley? Have you seen Rowley shake a hand, give out a Clorox, give out a mattress, give out a mop, a broom? Have you seen Rowley? Fire Rowley and hire Kamala. That would be the difference. The flooding would not be so great because Kamala spent money on the rivers, clearing them, dredging the river mouths, ensuring that there was drainage, billing box drains, ensuring that the maintenance was done. Rowley says, wean yourself off the government, which means when it rains, we are like a swimming pool. Trinidad and Tobago is an Olympic-sized swimming pool with the water flowing nowhere because he does not care. He wants to be in Blenheim on the golf course and ensure that his recusal twins could make money and pay rent for Faris Al-Rawi building. Fire Rowley, hire Kamala. Water under Kamala Prasad Bisesa. You had Ganga Singh, a man who understood Wassa, understood water, created back under Pandey, brought in the desalination plant, Desalcott, to take water from the sea to use in the energy sector that was booming. And it was profitable. The PNM has come in and they put a man called Marvin Gonzalez, who more interested in which man driving what van than to give you water. Under Kamala Prasad Bisesa in 2014, 74% of you could turn on your tap in your house and get water. Kamala Prasad Bisesa has called, as Desalcott now is supposed to go down for maintenance. She is asking that Desalcott hold on because the central and southern region require the desalination pure water in order to survive, because Wassa cannot deliver, the PNM cannot deliver, and they have not delivered. 12% of the population now get a 24/7 supply. It's the worst in the history of Trinidad and Tobago because Rowley put a man who knows nothing about Wassa, and now we have no water. Fire Rowley, hire Kamala. When you see the infrastructure damaging and all across the country, roads collapsing, bridges collapsing, landslides and so on, that is from lack of work, lack of expenditure, lack of maintenance, lack of effort, lack of brain. It's a perfect storm of greed and incompetence under Rowley. But did you think about one other thing that is causing our roads to erode from underneath? For the last 6 years, yes, they've been there, Sam. But for the last 6 years that we have on record from the Joint Select Committee into Wassa, approximately 4.2 billion gallons of potable water leaks out under the ground in Trinidad and Tobago every month. Every single month. That is approximately 50 billion gallons of water going under our infrastructure, under our roads, eating away quietly and silently that you cannot see. For the last 6 years, that is 300 billion gallons of water under our infrastructure. Now you understand why roads are collapsing, bridges are collapsing, roads are disappearing. It's not only the lack of the drainage work, it is not only the lack of maintenance and paving, it's not only the lack of box drain, it's not only the lack of clearing the bush off the hills, it's not only the lack of cutting down trees that are falling, it is the incompetence of the water under Wassa being spurting out and eating away our country from the inside out. And then we see the paper saying, where's the mitigation plan? And some of the editorials saying, Rowley, give him another chance. Vote Kamala. Fire Rowley, hire Kamala. Fuel subsidy, Kamala left it there. She left it there for you, the people, to benefit. Whether you have a car or you don't have a car, to keep food price inflation down, to keep the prices of medicine down. Kamala said, that is for my people. I love my people. Leave the fuel subsidy. Rowley said, give me that. My boys, the recusal twins, need money to spend. Fire Rowley, hire Kamala. Judith Jones report, December 13, 2021. Rowley receives a report that children are being raped, buggered, mutilated, beaten and battered. And up to now, that sick man has done nothing because he has no love in his heart. Leadership starts with love. Health system. Kamala loves people, loves children. Children hospital. She has in her team right now 4 qualified doctors, surgeons of the highest order. Rowley has none. He finds a druggist who could not even pass a pharmacological exam and puts him in charge of health. The dunce then chooses a man who should be painting sign in Queen's Hall to put him in charge of the health sector. And you can't get a Panadol. When you go into the hospital, it's flooding. They need to push you into ICU on a floating mattress because Rowley is heartless, incompetent, and chooses incompetence. Fire Rowley, hire Kamala. Indemnity. Imagine Keith, nasty Rowley, lies so much. When you lie, you can't have a case against human beings because the truth has to go in court. You could lie out here, you could lie in the parliament, but evidence is needed in a court of law with judges who are supposed to be impartial. Keith Christopher Rowley has an attorney general, former attorney general, who's now walking around telling you, move your cars when the water come in and the flooding, and move your structure. I think he lift too much weight, the blood rush from the little 2 brain cell he have and it gone. He tell all you, move all your structure. Like he watched Superman last night and say, yes, all we could move structure. This bag of idiots that they have. That's what they choose, and they sit down and negotiate and pay money and indemnify a criminal, induce, misbehave in public office, pervert the course of justice. If Kamala Prasad Bisesa was there, one, she would have an attorney general who's intelligent and not a complete dunce. She would never allow an attorney general to break and breach the law and cross over into the constitutional duty of the DPP. And if they made the mistake to do that, she would have fired them. Fire Rowley, hire Kamala. And when you hire Kamala and you hire the UNC and she has heart, a leader with heart looks for people in her likeness, people with heart, people who are qualified in their field, who care about people. When you hire Kamala, you will also fire Foster. Foster, where all that money get in your account in venture credit union, your court closed, you better have a whole cupboard, you big clown, you and MTS, Jackie Lazarus, you talking about Kamala House? When you hire Kamala, you fire Camille and she bag of money that she signed a declaration, 143,000 cash. She ain't know where it come from. When you hire Kamla, you fire Limo. When you hire Kamla, you fire Johnny Sukaran. When you hire Kamla, you fire Imbot. When you hire Kamla, you fire Shampa. When you hire Kamla, you fire Marvin. When you hire Kamla, you fire Minister of Bundles. When you hire Kamla, you fire Convent Girl. Convent Girl. Could you believe this man live in Greenville Avenue in St. Joseph, a seat that will go to the UNC once the election call one time, and the whole street flood out. UNC Councillor Seema Augustine was there with our team. That man, Convent Girl, Terence Dialsing, his electronic gate fall down, and he gone and get crews of people to help him clean his own house while his neighbors stay in mud and dirty. He didn't ask them for help. There was old people home 2 houses down. He leave the old people in wheelchair, in the mud, in the nastiness, in the water, while he fix himself. Do you think that could be a Kamla MP? Do you think Kamla MP could see about their own house and leave people suffering and not tell them, vote Kamla, fire Rowley, hire Kamla? When you hire Kamla, you will fire the Pomsite, nasty, disgusting, dense, dotish, sativa, narcolepsy, disgusting, Fitzgerald, Ethelbert, Hines, that Manning would have never give a portfolio. Once you fire Rowley, you get rid of Hines. So fire Rowley, hire Kamla. When you hire Kamla, you get rid of Rowley the liar. You get rid of Rowley the heartless. You get rid of Rowley the village ram who let him go on anything inside the cabinet. Rowley the saddest. You get rid of Rowley the golfing oppressor. You get rid of Rowley who legalized thieving by gutting procurement. The PNM must be fired. All must be fired. Call elections now. Unite under Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Unite under the UNC. Save Trinidad and Tobago. Vote smart. Vote hard. Vote early. Vote in your numbers. Vote UNC. God bless. Good night.
Come on! Cause this is the revolution. The people's revolution.